What is happening, what is going on, you absolute bunch of legends. So in this video I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to create basically the scene that's the thumbnail of this video. So it's actually pretty cool, and yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to do. I thought it was a nice cinematic kind of scene. I enjoy creating these kind of things, and I thought what I'm going to be doing more on the channel is just showing you how to create these kind of images, basically like a start to finish tutorial, and make them not as complicated. I don't want to make it too complicated. I want to make it as quick as possible for you to follow along. And then what's pretty cool is then you can always add your own spice or your own twist to the scene once you've created it. So it's basic. So I'm going to try and keep these as short as possible, but it might get a little bit longer. Who knows? But let's jump into it. So first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need you'll need like a human model or any kind of skeleton or something like that. You know, you can use pretty much anything you want. You can even use like a car, but I think this works better with models, with humans. So find a place to download it. You can go to Sketchfab, you can go to Mixamo, and you can just find something. I'm just going to import one of mine. I'm going to go import, and I'm going to import the GLTF. Click here, and I'm going to import my guy. So you can see this is him. I'll go here. Looks like that. So pretty cool character. Now I'm just going to go back here, and I'm going to go Z, and I'm going to go Shift D. I'm going to duplicate it to there. Shift D, duplicate him, and go there, and then go Shift D. Shift D. You need to do this a couple of times, and then Shift D. Now what you can do is you can select them all. Shift D, move it like that. Shift D, like that, and then one more time. Let's do all of them. Shift D. You don't want to do it too many times because you don't want to make your computer too slow, but I think this looks pretty good. Maybe one more time. I just want to get it nice. So one more time will be perfect. Shift D, and yeah, that looks good. And now what you can do is we can go like this, and then you can click on your camera, go Control Alt 0, so we're now locking it. And then what we can do is we can just move the camera. I'm going to just change the perspective, so we're going to make it a nice thumbnail perspective, so it will be 1920 by 1080. Then what we can do is we can go here, then just shift it like this, and then go Control Alt 0. And then what we can do is we can zoom out, so something like this now. Or what you could do is you could click it on something like this, Shift A, and I think this looks a little bit better. So you can play around with your camera kind of, yeah. Once you create the scene, you can still move the camera around. Now what I want to do is go Shift A, and I'm going to go to Mesh, and I want to add a cube. Okay, this is going to be our volumetrics. So then Shift, and I'm going to make it pretty big, so it covers pretty much the whole scene. So it's not doing that now. And then I'm just going to go to Z, G, and bring it like this. And then I'm just going to scale it, so like that, boom, and scale it like that. Doesn't need to be too big. I'll go back to my camera. We are in the scene now, and then I can click on the cube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to world, and I'm going to make the completely dark, right? And then select your cube, go here to materials, hit new, and then change this from a principled BSDF to a principled volume shader. Okay, and then you can bring your density down to about 0.05. And if I click here, you'll see nothing is really happening. I'm just going to save this because I want to make sure that I don't lose where I am. So I'm just going to go Cyberpunk scene. So you can, I would suggest probably doing this as well, because your computer could become a little bit slow. Okay, then now what you can do, you can go back here. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to hide the cube. And I'm just going to go Shift A. I just want to create a plane for the feet. You're not really going to see it, but it does help a little bit. And then I'm just going to scale it like that, and then like that, and then like this, and then just go to Z, and then G, and just bring it to about there. You don't really need to do this, but it will just make your scene look a little bit better. Then what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to add a light. So Shift A, and we're going to use an area, or not an area light, a point light. Okay, and then go to Z. Now you can see where the camera is. I'm just going to go G, and I'm going to bring it to about here, and then go to Z, G, and bring it up to about here. So we'll need to probably play around with where the camera is, not where the camera is, where the light is. And then I'm just going to bring this up to about 500. And now if I click here, you got something like this now. And now if I bring the cube back, you've got something like this. So this is looking pretty cool. And what you can do is with your cube, you can just play around with your volume. So let's make it about 0.2, and it will add more volume into the scene. And what you can do is you can go back like this, and with your point light you can change it. It's like a nice kind of like almost like a blue, just to give it a little bit more detail. And then what you could do is you could zoom in and just look for a nice kind of point. You could even maybe make your camera like this. So click on the camera, Control Alt 0. Then you got something looking like this, a little bit different. And then what I'll also do is I'll click on the floor, play, and I'll just make this completely dark, just so it looks a little bit better. And then what you could also do is click on your light, go Shift D, and just duplicate it. Maybe make Shift D, duplicate it, add maybe 3 lights. Then you've got something like this. You can obviously then move around with your camera. You could even move it like this to behind. Control Alt 0. Get something going like this, or you could even get it even lower. Make it look like that. Just to have a little bit of fun. Bring your cube back, and you got something like this. If I hide this, got something looking like this, almost staring into nothing. You change this to like 0.5. And if I click on this, I can also make the roughness of the plane in the metallic up. And you get something looking like this now. And then the last thing I want to do, I just want to click back here, click on this, and then my cube, I want to go to X and bring this up quite a lot. It's about there, and then hopefully this makes it look a little bit more. Yeah, and that's looking a little bit better. And then if I hide this, you got something looking like this now, and it's kind of like a weird kind of scene, but yeah, you could always add something here into like a screen, or yeah, it's just you can move it around, find something that you like. But it's, yeah, you can play around. What I like is to like reframe this. It's kind of, yeah, it's a little bit of a weird kind of looking scene. I just thought I would do things a little bit different. I think this looks pretty cool. It's like you're staring into the darkness, and I just, yeah, think it's pretty interesting. I thought it was a cool way to create something. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something. It's going to be a bit hard on your PC if you've got characters like this. So might have been a little bit, you could see might have, yeah, it was making my computer a little bit, struggle a little bit. So I would suggest probably use a little bit more easier characters. Maybe get something like just a normal person, something without all these kind of extra stuff, because this is a pretty detailed render of a human or a cyberpunk guy or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.